Now we'll go.
Go. I love my teensy girl and I miss her so much. She's been here at Sarah's and she was with a vet for a while too because she needed, 24-hour care. And she's come a long way. And if it wasn't for this Sarah and her nonprofit,
Well, the people that donate to us.
Yeah. If it wasn't for you people donating to this kind of cause, because it's endless. And with the Lahaina fire, there's still over 500 cats and dogs that are still in the town and have not been gotten to yet. And Sarah's had a couple. Teensy was her first.
Teensy.
Is it still on?
Yeah.
Teensy was Sarah's first burn victim, and I found.
Day one.
Yeah. And I found her the day that I had another appointment here at her free clinic, and it was really something. It's been over 2 months, and I'm here today visiting Teensy, and hopefully I'll get to take her home next week because we're building a catio with the help of some friends, some cat lovers, and just to get her going. See how she does.
Because her gulch is burned down. So
Yeah.
the area, her territory that she's used to seeing and her trees are all gone.
Yeah. So I'm going to take her from the catio into the catio, which is a pretty good size, and she's be right near my house and my window. I'll be able to be with her pretty much 24/7. And then because the forest is completely gone, 9.5 acres or more of nothing but burnt earth, burnt earth. And that's where they all lived and slept at night for their safety, but they were always up in my yard to eat daily, and whenever I called them, they would come. But it's been really strange for the other cats that did survive up there because, it's hard to get them to live with no forest. And one will not come up to my house still. She's living down there underneath burnt trees and brush.
You bring food down to her?
And I walk down, practically I have to get my boots on to walk down there for fear I'm going to fall, but I go down there every night and every day with fresh water, and we have no fresh water for 2 months at my home in Kula, so everything has to be brought in by bottled water, and I've got a nice little setup down there for her so I can completely fill her bowls up with water every day.
It's interesting to hear about Kula because we hardly ever hear about Kula.
Yeah, you don't.
Because it was...
We got sort of left behind, and with the community that we have, a very small community in Kula, there's a lot, there's more than 2 hands full of women that are and men that just come to help you, bring you food when they can, and help me find cat food and fresh water. And if we didn't have the community band together like that, we wouldn't have been able to make. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to make it, and a lot of people wouldn't have been able to make it. But we need more help. The island needs more help. I tell everybody I know on the mainland to please don't donate, because without nonprofits that literally take these cats in and take them from the worst stage to healed and ready to go back to their owners or be adopted if they lost their owners. I tell everybody, put your pennies into this because it's worth it. And this cat, my teensy girl, she's one of 3 sisters that were born on my property up in Kula about almost 7 years ago. And they're the sweetest little girls, and they all are tougher than nails. Even being partially deaf, they can hear high pitched sounds, but basically they're deaf. And I tell you what, any other cat of mine that tries to mess with them, boy, these girls stand up like they're they're little
It's
toughies.
Amazing too, because she's so shy and sweet, right?
But boy, if Jack, I have a one-eyed Jack at my property, and he came years ago, and he's a beautiful big cat. He tries to get close to all of them to see if they'll play with her, and all you get is a big swat, boy.
Teensy.
She'll swat them good to let
With
them
her
know.
new
Yeah.
baby butt paws.
With her new paws, and to know who's boss. And those three kittens, they're the boss.
I think people would be really interested in hearing the story of how you found her.
Oh, well, the night of the fire, it was about probably a week later, and it was still on fire. Every day helicopters were around my house dropping water. It was a real fiery mess. And I go down to feed everybody, but at that time I had only found 3 of my 10 cats. And I heard this really strange crying scream, and I knew that it was somebody. I got on my hands and knees right near the burn line, which is right on my property, and there was Teensy, just in terrible shape. She couldn't walk. She was actually crawling towards me on her chest, crying for help. And I couldn't even believe, because it was a week later after the fire that she had crawled out of that forest. And I picked her up and wrapped her in a blanket. And I had prior had an appointment here anyway with my other cat who was not in the fire. Just, it was a free clinic, and I had him checked out. And so I had no time to get a hold of Sarah. I just put her in a carriage and brought her here. And as soon as they found out I had her in the truck, they were on her so quickly and brought her in. And she was first priority. And we spent several hours here. And Sarah had a vet here with us. So she got fluids in her. She was dehydrated, burnt all over, but her poor little feet were just
Yeah, her feet were
really bad. And so she was so bad she had to spend a couple hours here with Sarah and her workers, and then she went into the vet in town.
Yeah, we just prepped her for the emergency
Yeah,
hospital, and then we sent
exactly.
her over there.
And so she's been back and forth here, and she did stay for several weeks at Page.
Dr. Page.
Dr. Page, veterinarian in Kihei, and Teensy stayed upstairs in her bedroom, and healed, and she changed bandages all the time, and then she went from Page's back to Sarah's, and she's been here. And I'm preparing the catio. It's almost done framing, probably today and tomorrow, and then we'll put the screens up and everything and get it prepared and put all her little favorite things in there.
Yeah, all her
and
little
she'll be next to me where she can hear me and see me 24/7. And that's going to be her next little get used to being back home on her grounds again. And then pretty possible that she'll be able to come out and adjust little by little, but I never want to lose her again. And hopefully,
Yeah, the reason also that we decided to do a catio is because if there ever is another fire, she can contain her animals, or if it's coming near her.
Yeah.
Because when you have 10 kitties that show up on your property that adopt you,
Yeah.
it's hard to suddenly move them all in your house. And Nancy has dogs, and so they are, for the most part, outdoor kitties.
Right.
And they've always have been. She's getting very used to being inside, but
Yeah.
most kitties, it's a kind of a trauma to suddenly move them.
Yeah.
So to have a catio where if they ever say, hey, there's a storm coming or whatever,
Exactly.
she can pop them into this safe area and be ready to evacuate.
I've always wanted a catio from day one, and because of the hurricanes and the storms that we get up in Kula, we really get nailed hard and high winds. And I've always wanted a little safe haven, and so instead of a screen little porch or a metal thing, I'm building a good size that she'll be able to see everything and be protected and from anything.
Double doors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, double doors.
So if you want to donate to Teensy's catio,
Yeah, it's pricey, and I don't have a husband that can build anything or anybody that I know. So
we'll put a
together.
fundraiser online, and then we'll help also. But we'll do a little GoFundMe.
Hey, my girl.
On the spot while videoing. Good idea.
Thank you so much for everybody that can hear this and really know from the bottom of my heart that so many animals need your help, and so many people have lost their homes, lost their jobs, lost everything they own. I got mutilated by 80-mile-an-hour winds, and the fire came right up to my back door and burned down my orchard and trees, and You know, I lost a couple cats. They never came back. They were burned, obviously. But you know, money's hard here on Maui, and people are struggling, and so I really beg you all to please help.
People have helped
cats.
so much. Yeah, we've had
do what you can, because look at Teensy. She would not have been able to have lived if it wasn't for these nonprofits. And Kitty Charm Farm is really getting recognized a lot for Sarah's help and the people that she has helping her, and the veterinarians that work with her. You know,
but there's a lot of other really good nonprofits that don't do as much promotion as we do, or maybe didn't, you know,
or just starting. There's a lot that are just starting, but thank God that I see more and more starting up, because without them, all these cats on Maui would not.
Yeah, Honey Cats has like 130 kittens in foster right now, bottle feed. Yeah, and there's a lot of good. Cat Network has flown 500 cats off the island in the last year, Surf Cat Ranch is taking tons of ferals.
Her place is pretty big. I've been out there several times, and you drive up and you get out of your truck and you have to immediately drop to the ground, because 30 or 40 cats that are three-legged or one eye just come to you, and they're just the lovingest, caringest little babies ever.
She's doing great. Those are the main ones I can think of. I'm probably missing somebody. Don't hate me. I'll add you in the text.
Thank you. Mahalo.
Nancy
Mahalo
and Teensy.
Nui Loa.